So this is the screen. Yabaha ya search Ghana keke. Yenya de ha ye to Ghana na yen search. Ye search ya Ghana ni ba ko pene da ho. Ye wura Kenufurata ayera. Kenufurata eni hobiem. Ah. Enti e ho eni mu bibisa se ah. Na papa Kenufurata yi efa he. Ah, Interpol fwa de a kisi eja me o me atese oka ho no. Papa na fa he. If there was a break in the transmission, I can't tell me. But if you think everything is okay as well, and also me, I can't tell me. After the Korea can Ufurata and can Interpol for listing who be him. Papa, if I had Kiseja, I also know what can't say. What the papa no? Anyway, you think I'm being too harsh on the president? I will just be very, very soft. From here. Ebiana idu homuma and Albetiasia. Three was iduha obetiasia. So Ghana first started bisa question say never say a Kenufurata ayera afi Interpol for details iso and our website iso. And OSP or the Chiriwan ba was say na at the blind side of us no. Ken Ofori and the lawyers actually come Interpol say munyi Ken Ofori free Interpol red list so na OSP kura ni ma dey oye pacho yam kwene nkwaji nchire mu free Ken Ofori ankasa a lawyer ho e friend Frank Davis or the nchire mu ebema yen.
We'll engage a member of Mr. Ofori's legal team now, but we know that the OSP has also responded to this release. I'll bring that to you shortly, but let's now engage Frank Davis, who joins us via Zoom. Frank, many thanks for joining us. The OSP has just responded to the release that came out, and it says that they refuse that Ken Ofori's name has been removed from Interpol's red notice list because the matter is still under contention. How do you respond to this?
Why is the OSP now coming to explain a fair complete? I mean, what was he doing all this while? The chronology of events he has given, he was very much aware that this matter was being contested. So when he got to the stage where Ken Ofori's name was pulled down, why didn't he mount the cameras left? Mount the cameras and go onto the microphones like he always does, to tell the country what has happened. Now that there is an embarrassment, he comes to explain what circumstances. Whatever it is, and Ofori's name has been pulled down.
With the release that circulated earlier, it said that once the OSP's charges were announced, Interpol immediately pulled the red notice posting from their website because the OSP had confirmed Mr. Ofori's lawyers' complaints to Interpol. Is that the case? Because the OSP is saying otherwise.
It is not true. It is not true. The pulling down of his name has nothing to do with the charges he has filed. Absolutely nothing to do with it. And we should stop speculating for and playing fidelity to the truth.
But when you say the OSP should...
In any event, if that was the case, why didn't you say it before? If we are all truthful to the fact and we want to speak fidelity to the law, at the time that Ken Ofori's name was pulled down, why didn't he come to tell Daniel? And look, Ken Ofori's name, I issued a red notice arrest for his arrest. His name has been pulled down because of A, B, and C. Now he waits for this to come into the public domain. Then he says what? If the Interpol is investigating the matter, it comes as a matter of reason that his name will be pulled down. Come on.
So Frank, as it stands now, can you confirm? So his name has been taken off the list simply because the matter is still under contention. Is that the case?
I said his name has been pulled down, not because he has been charged. The OSP did not meet the legal criterion for a red alert notice to be put on Ken Ofori. So his name has been pulled down. It has absolutely nothing to do with whether he has filed charges or not.
One of the reasons you have cited as the contradiction of the to the legality of this red notice was the fact that charges had not been filed in court at the time. Well, yesterday the OSP formally informed us that your client has now been charged. What next?
Well, what next is up to the OSP. It is up to the OSP. You all know, but you don't want to admit the fact that you know that Ken Ofori is out of the country because of the medical procedure. He has attended onto his doctors, he's recuperating, and any time that he is notified of his charges, we shall consider our option. But Ofori is not a fugitive, as the whole world was made to believe. He's fleeing justice, he's a fugitive for justice. I am going to use the force of the state behind you, I'll use the head of this alert, I'll pull you down to Ghana, and all happens.
So essentially you're saying that...
I can't fall back and say, because he's saying...
Frank, are you confirming that your client is still ill and that we should not expect him?
I have said to you, I think I pick my language carefully. I said to you, he has attended onto medical surgery and he is recuperating. Why again did I say that he was ill?
Well, you just said that he's written that he's unwell and that he has to undergo surgery. You just said that a while ago.
Public notice that he was unwell. He has attended onto a medical procedure. He is recuperating. That is what I said.
So essentially he's still unwell.
He is recuperating.
Okay.
Ken Ofori has not been formally notified of any charges that have been prepared against him. I read it on social media the same way as you did, which is the style of the special prosecutor. I would have thought that having filed the charges, he will notify the accused person before running it into town. And that is his style. So we live into his style. And Ofori, Atta, Nanaya Kunuku has not been notified of any formal charges against him.
Interesting. But the OSP says that your client will be tried in absentia regardless.
Well, please, I am not going to involve myself in the season of lawyers who are talking about trial in absentia. I am not interested in it. Charges have been prepared against Ken Ofori. The OSP should know how to serve or formally notify Ken Ofori of his charges because he is not in the country. When that is done, we shall consider the next option. I am not interested in this trial in absentia business because those who are flagging it don't understand what you're saying. And I will not aid them with any education. You were all in this country when Ken Ofori requested for a video conferencing interview. Or you are not here. You interviewed me on that, which is legally permissible. The OSP said he was going to have none of that because he wanted a one-on-one engagement with Ofori, whether he wanted to dance with him, whether he wanted to eat with him, or whether he wanted to wine with him, nobody knew. He said he willingly insisted on an in-person interview as if the electronic engagement was not permissible. But the law, the Electronic Transmission Act, makes provision for video conference. He said he wouldn't have none of that. The Legal Mutual Assistance Act calls for collaboration via electronic conferencing. He said he would not have none of that.
Finally, Frank, anti-graft campaigners, Edem Senanu, has mentioned that your client, being that he held a position of power, must do, and I quote, the honorable thing. I'm saying that, if you would listen to me, kindly indulge me, I'm saying that anti-graft campaigners such as Edem Senanu, who spoke on our network, indicated that your client, who has held a position of power, should do, and I quote, the honorable thing by presenting himself to answer questions. And so that is where the comments that I spoke about earlier about the seeming lack of cooperation, which is not coming from us, but from the public. That is why I asked you about that.
You see, those Senanu and other guys, I don't take delight in responding to them because when I say something, I don't feel comfortable with what I'll hear myself say. And whatever he has said is his own opinion. I'm not going to engage him on what he said. That is his opinion. He should keep it in his head and keep running with it. But if he understands the rules of engagement and he understands the right of an accused person, sure. He will not talk the way he's talking. But we all are human beings. When you are not confronted with a matter, you can talk the way you like. I'm not wishing anything ill for him, but the right of an accused person is always respected before the law. Okay?
Right.
So he can go ahead. Yes, he can go ahead and spew whatever opinions he has. I will not engage him in a relationship.
All right, enti you reckon of a lawyer Frank Davis, I know this even say. The client na a petition interpose munyi me din free red list or wanted list or whatever so because I've done nothing wrong. And then they wrote back to OSP and OSP couldn't substantiate it. That is why they pulled Keno Furata's name out or down. But surprisingly, I'm very disappointed in OSP. OSP failed so Baba can't Ghana for say, oh, say now Keno Furata din yes, he never said anything. Until say the public got to know say Keno Furata din and can't want to listen who be able to say ne why in a cross check the din who be me. And then OSP comes back to play another jandam. So when I say not to say you can offer that free so that. I'm very disappointed in the special prosecutor, to be honest. I don't know what he is trying to do. If he's playing games or if he is intentional or whatever, nobody knows. I'm disappointed in Attorney General as well. Because Attorney General who Jumane say a Jumana always be failing to do. You have to do it, but you have to relax. Say you're trying to crack out my response to here. I'm just disappointed in a lot of people in the country now. And the way already corruption, so Ghana will know. NDC for one man, we have a problem. If you fail to get this kind of people into prisoner, 2028 NDC is going to take you by surprise. A bit take NDC for say sini. A bit yes sini. But person who is sini da. Until the NDC for one place I game now. Then I was surprised at Attorney General. Wo jai Keno Furata ansem ho akọ wura parliament say wo kwa akoka former Maslok boss asem e na wo kwa akoka am say na dey na yeke hwe and this administration man you careful on your position but did 4 years paying the governance tie Attorney General abeg ni ko gina parliament be say question about former Maslok boss her case was done absentia on my Ghana and also buy no what die Keno Furata ho e kofa wo party in NDC nia or not American bed 9 years so the neighbor Ghana tie no.
That is the office of the Attorney General is awaiting the execution of our request to have her extradited to serve her prison sentence in Ghana. The International Cooperation Unit of the Attorney General's Department followed up on our request from the Department of Justice, the United States of the United States of America in September 2025. So if there is any impression being created that I am not taking any steps, this is the evidence that in September, that is just a month ago, I took the step of inquiring from the United States Justice Department the steps that they were taking in respect of the extradition. And they indicated that they are following their extradition procedures in executing the request and that the fugitive would be extradited as soon as they have satisfied all the procedures. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Wow. The whole Attorney General say, Keno Furata, what this quickly die, Bonnie Keno Furata did no, or no, he is not interested in it. But former Maslok boss na, or not American for about 10 years, and woman now coaches, but Keno Furata or call less than 1 year, or you're interested in it. Attorney General, let me tell you, you cannot convince me. I'm a say, some former Maslok boss now what's in the US over 10 years, I just want to get a green card and that's American citizenship. I will say sometimes, people think say we are idiots, but we are not idiots. I'm very disappointed in Attorney General. I have to be honest with Attorney General. I have to be honest with you. Won't even convince me to be to US for the last 10 or 12 years, any legal documents are residing in America. And the Ubet visa Ubet made Africa Ghana, Akofo be or not America over the last 12 years, American for to mean deportino. Who visa or no again in the Ukakofana Bagana. Back in Ofori Ofori Ghana in less than 1 year, no, won't even Kokak in Ofori also Jama OSP. One Ghana, how they are playing with us. How do these kind of people play with us? They think that we are idiots. Master, we are not idiots. Because school na mako be an yako. School na Attorney General mako no me makobi. And you cannot convince me say, oh no, who Jack Keno Furata ho? I no call another. If you cannot even convince us say Keno Furata quite any green card or American, or be American for the last 12 or 13 years, no, who wait him to Ghana. Me see who won't me. masa munya de ni ye na nipa nwe na ho mo hwe na munya asem ya ka mo kama no ntum ne yenko yenim